In Activity 8, using adding machine tape to measure, students use a non-standard unit, adding machine tape, to measure their heights. The students first use simple equipment to gather data and make comparisons. Then, create a graph to describe and compare student heights. And finally, compare student heights to heights of animals on a growth chart. From the kit, you will need Activity Sheet 8, Growth Chart, a roll of adding machine tape, and a roll of masking tape. You will also need to provide crayons and blunt tip scissors. To prepare for the activity, make a copy of Activity Sheet 8 for each student. Cut 120 centimeter lengths of adding machine tape, one for each student. Measure and cut a piece of adding machine tape the length of your own height. Next, assemble the growth chart. Cut or fold the bottom segment of the chart so that the zero line is at the foot of the chart and can rest on the floor when posted. To begin the activity, briefly review length and width with the class. Students should recall that length is the measurement from one end of an object to its other end along the longer side, and width is the measurement along the shorter side of an object. They may also recall that distance is the measurement from one place or object to another place or object. Tell students that in this activity, they will measure another type of length. Ask students to line up against the wall in size, in order, starting with the shortest student and ending with the tallest. As students arrange themselves in order, discuss their observations using words such as tall, taller, short, and shorter. Help students define height as the measurement from the bottom of the feet to the top of the head. Ask students, what other kinds of things can we measure the height of? Students may suggest buildings, mountains, trees, doors, and other upright objects. To help students understand that height is the type of length measure, they will measure their lengths on pieces of adding machine tape. Invite a volunteer to help you demonstrate how to measure. Have the student place a piece of adding machine tape on the floor with one end against a wall. Stretch the adding machine tape out and secure both ends to the floor with masking tape, wall end first. The student should lie on or next to the tape with his feet or her feet flat against the wall. Draw a crayon line on the adding machine tape showing where the top of the student's head is. As you measure, reinforce the student's vocabulary with words such as tall, height, long, length, and distance. Have the student write his or her name on the adding machine tape just below the crayon line marking the top of his or her head. Peel the adding machine tape from the floor and use blunt tip scissors to cut along the height line. The strip of adding machine tape is now a measure of how tall the student is. Distribute the adding machine tape strips, masking tape, scissors, and crayons to the class, and have the students work in pairs to measure each other's height as you modeled. Note that you should not have students cutting the adding machine tape while their partners are lying down. Each student should cut his or her own tape after peeling it off the floor. When all students have finished their height measurements, create a class height chart along a classroom wall using their strips of adding machine tape. Have the students get into height order again with their tape segment. They should hold their adding machine tape segments against the wall while you use masking tape to secure them in place, with the foot ends at the floor level. Tell students that they have made a model, something that stands for or represents something else. The class height chart is a model of students lined up in order of height. If you have done any graphing with your students, point out that the strips of adding machine tape on the wall are like a large bar graph. Next, display the adding machine tape strip of your own height and have students show you where to place it on the chart. Post the growth chart next to the class height chart with the zero line at floor level and use it as a basis for comparing student heights to the heights of various animals shown. Compare the height of each student to one of the animals, eventually using all of the animals on the chart. After comparing the heights of students to the heights of animals, distribute Activity Sheet 8 to the class. Read the directions with the class and have students complete their activity sheets. To conclude the activity, return the adding machine tape and masking tape to the kit. Discard leftover pieces. Remember to leave the growth chart and the class height chart posted in the classroom for future use and future activities. For science background, reinforcement activities, curriculum connections, and information about the Delta Science readers, please consult your DSM Teacher's Guide.